If you think a good job and a steady paycheck are your ticket to wealth, I'm about to challenge everything you've been taught about money. For most people, income is a finish line. You work hard, get paid, pay your bills, and hope there's something left. But for the wealthiest 1%, income is just a starting line. They don't just earn money, they follow a set of unwritten rules that make their money work for them, creating a cycle of wealth that the other 99% can only dream of. What if I told you that the financial advice you've been following, save 10%, max out your 401k, pay off your house, is actually designed to keep you in the middle class, not to make you truly wealthy? It's a safe path, but it's also a slow one, a path that almost guarantees you'll be working for money your entire life. The wealthy understand that the real game isn't about saving pennies, it's about shifting your entire relationship with money from being an employee to being an owner. Most people don't realize this, but the financial system is set up like a board game with two different sets of rules. One set is taught in schools and promoted by banks, it's for the players. The other set is passed down in elite circles, whispered in boardrooms, and executed in private equity deals, it's for the game masters. Today, we're peeking behind the curtain to reveal 5 of those hidden rules, and by the end of this video, you won't look at your bank account the same way again. Let me tell you about 2 people. Let's call them Mark and David. Both are smart, hard-working, and earn a solid 6-figure salary. Mark follows a traditional playbook. He saves diligently, invests in a diversified stock portfolio, and focuses on slowly paying down his mortgage. He feels secure, responsible, and is on track to retire comfortably in his 60s. He's playing the game perfectly, according to the rules we all know. David, on the other hand, seems to be doing everything wrong. Instead of aggressively paying down his home loan, he refinances to pull out equity. He takes on what looks like risky debt to buy a small duplex in an up-and-coming neighborhood. His friends think he's crazy. While Mark's net worth inches up with the stock market, David's is quietly exploding. His tenants are paying his mortgage, the property is appreciating, and he's using the cash flow to hunt for his next deal. David isn't just earning money, he's orchestrating it. This brings us to the first hidden rule: the wealthy don't fear debt, they control it. For the average person, debt is a 4-letter word associated with credit card bills and car loans, things that drain your wallet. We're taught to avoid it at all costs. But the rich see debt differently. They separate bad debt, which makes them poorer, from good debt, which makes them richer. Good debt is a tool, a form of leverage used to acquire assets that generate income or appreciate in value, like real estate or a business. They borrow money at 3% to buy an asset that returns 10%. It's not about avoiding debt, it's about using other people's money to build your own fortune. Here's the truth most financial advisors won't tell you: your salary is the most inefficient way to build wealth. This leads to the second rule: focus on cash flow, not just high income. A high-paying job might look impressive, but it's a golden cage. You're taxed heavily, and your income stops the second you stop working. The wealthy know that true financial freedom comes from building multiple streams of passive or semi-passive income from assets, things that make you money while you sleep. They aren't asking, how can I get a raise? They're asking, how can I buy or build another asset that pays me every month? This could be rental income, stock dividends, business profits, or royalties. The goal is to have your assets generate enough cash flow to cover your lifestyle, making your job optional, not a necessity. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. The third rule is something the middle class actively avoids: asymmetrical risk. Most people are taught to seek safe, balanced investments, a little bit of risk for a little bit of reward. The wealthy, however, hunt for opportunities where the potential upside is massive, and the downside is limited and controlled. Think of an early investor in a startup. They might invest a small amount of money they can afford to lose, but if that company becomes the next Google, their return is 1000x. They aren't gambling, they're making calculated bets on opportunities with exponential potential, while the rest of their portfolio remains secure. They understand that playing it too safe is the riskiest move of all, because it guarantees you'll never achieve exceptional results. The fourth hidden rule is about the most valuable asset you have, and it's not your house or your 401k. It's your network. The old saying, "It's not what you know, it's who you know," is a fundamental law of wealth. The 1% cultivates relationships not just for friendship, but for deal flow, information, and opportunities. They understand that the best investment deals never make it to the public market. They're shared over dinner, on the golf course, or in exclusive masterminds. Your network is a source of intellectual capital and financial opportunities that you can't buy on the stock exchange. It's about intentionally placing yourself in rooms where the conversations are about creating value, not just complaining about the cost of living. Finally, the fifth and perhaps most crucial rule is to treat your personal finances like a business. Most people manage their money emotionally. They splurge when they feel good and panic sell when the market drops. The wealthy operate like a CEO of their own financial empire, Me, Inc. They have a board of directors, mentors, accountants, lawyers. They study their P&L statement, income versus expenses, and they are constantly looking for ways to increase revenue streams and acquire new assets for their balance sheet. They make cold, calculated decisions based on data and long-term strategy, not on fear or greed. Your financial life isn't just a series of bills to be paid, it's a business to be grown. So, how do you start applying this in your own life? It begins with a mindset shift. Instead of asking, "How much can I save?" start asking, "How can I acquire an asset?" It doesn't have to be a skyscraper. It could be starting a small side hustle that generates $200 a month. That's your first cash flowing asset. Instead of just avoiding all debt, start learning to distinguish good debt from bad. Maybe that means taking a small loan for a certification that dramatically increases your earning power, or saving for a down payment on a rental property instead of a new car. Start treating your knowledge as an investment. Spend less time on Netflix and more time reading books on business, investing, and negotiation. Join online communities or local meetups related to your financial interests. You don't need to be born into a wealthy family to build a powerful network. You just need to be curious and willing to provide value to others. Track your money not just for budgeting, but to understand the financial health of Me, Inc. Where are your opportunities for growth? Where can you cut in profitable expenses to free up capital for investment? This isn't about becoming a different person overnight. It's about starting to play a different game with a new set of rules. The path to wealth isn't a secret. It's just a strategy that's rarely taught to the masses. It requires you to unlearn the safe advice that keeps you comfortable and to adopt the mindset of a creator and owner, not just a consumer and employee. If you're ready to start seeing money differently, make sure you subscribe to Understand Finance, because the goal isn't just to make money, it's to master it. Every video we release is designed to give you one more piece of the puzzle, one more rule from the playbook of the wealthy, so you can start building a life of true financial freedom. The journey won't be easy, but it will be worth it. Money isn't just about numbers, it's about freedom, choices, and how well you play the game. This is Understand Finance.